Hey, we are back with week 3 of Smogtour. If you have not seen week 2, go back to my last video and watch that before you come in here and watch week 3. My opponent here goes by the name of Q Willie, and look at his team. He got Superior, he got Volcham, he got Garchomp, he got Latias, he got Metagross, he got Clefairy, all very threatening. My Pokemon are quite threatening themselves, even though they are a lower tier, which I love to use. So I have Scolopy, Helicourse, Magneton, Haxorus, Condon, and Alakazam, and you're like, thank goodness, Wall M, you finally use a new team. Hell yeah, I'm using a new team. So let's get it. Alright, so this is too fast. So I decided to lead off with Haxorus, he decided to lead off with Garchomp. Here, because he lead off with Garchomp, I know he's slower. And I am Scarf, so no matter what, I'll be faster. But at the same time, I do also know that lead Garchomp usually carry Stealth Rock if you really want to get it up. So I'm just going to go aggressive and go for Outrage. Hopefully he doesn't suspect it, even though it's kind of obvious. So I go for Outrage. He switches in Clefairy, which is a smart play. He kind of negates that, so I'm going to force to switch on to Magneton. I should just go for Moonblast, and that took down my special attack. So I'm like, I'm going to switch on to Alakazam, expecting him to switch back into his Garchomp, something like that. He took the bait, and I'm just going to trace his love skin. I'm going to go for straight for 1,000 points, just see how much it does, in case you go for EQ. But he goes to Stealth Rock here, and seeing that only 49%, I don't want to take no chance. I'm going to go for Calm Mind. I know I can live an Earthquake, especially since he's not like adamant nature. He goes for Clefairy, Calm Mind, but I have Side Shock, so it doesn't really matter. 2 Side Shock just knocks him out. He sends out Metagross, and I'm like, alright, I'm just going to go to Magneton. I'm just going to kind of sack him. But he goes to medium matches to absolutely nothing. He follows the Hammer, he misses, right? So I hit him with the hidden power fire. That's very unfortunate. He goes to another Hammer, he misses again. And hit him with another hidden power fire. He misses again. And I hit him. He's like, what? He's like, you guys, does that Magneton have like white powder or something? And that's banned, so obviously not. But it's funny, man. Very unfortunate for him. He goes into Garchomp, he goes to Earthquake. I send him a Heracross. I go for Mega Horn here. Surprised that I was actually faster, but I took all of that chip from him with Life Orb, and then he able to knock me out with Dragon Tail. So that kind of explains why he goes last. I go into Alakazam, just go for Side Shot. Whether he stays or not, it's going to do a lot to any of mine. Here, Sand Superior, go for Calm Mind. Leaves him to 30%, but he has +2 now. Here, what I should have done is I should have went for another Calm Mind, because I know that since that did 30%, and I'm at +2, and he's also at +2, that would basically neutralize it out, which means that he will barely kill me. But the fact that I didn't go for Calm Mind, I just went straight for Side Shock here. I knew Side Shock wouldn't kill. He's able to just knock me out, and that's very unfortunate, but it doesn't really matter at this point because I do have Haxorus, which is Choice Scarf, which is faster than Superior no matter what. So I'm gonna go for Outrage here, and he's not gonna sag any of the other mines, so he's gonna let him die. He goes into World Time, though, now it's Choice Scarf, so here's the opportunity to live with Outrage and go for World West and hit, and he does hit through that, and that kind of saved him because now Outrage will do less. But I'm confused already, so I'm just gonna switch on to Magneton, trying to sack him. He goes for Pain Split here, which is perfect because he gained nothing, basically. He goes into Latios, which is very smart. I should just go for Thunder. Hopefully some Paralyzer or something, but nope. He goes to Latias, and he just goes for Ice Beam on my Magneton, expecting me to probably switch on to Haxorus, which is very, very smart. But once again, it doesn't seem like he has life or anything, so maybe he is Scarf, and he just had to find the best move to go for. So he's able to knock off my Haxorus, but no matter what, I'm going to go to Scolopy. I could live his Ice Beam if he wanted to go for that. Since I'm only expecting him to be Scarf, that's my only threat. If he's Scarf, he could Ice Beam, I will be able to live that. But if he's not Scarf and he's able to switch up move to Side Shot or Side Kick, I am 355. I purposely invested him a little bit higher than a little bit high enough that it will cross over Latias and Latios, and this works out perfectly for me because I'm able to freely go for a Mega Horn. Hopefully, he does not miss, knock him out. And at this point, I could knock down his Road Time with the Mega Horn. He will die with Life Orb. But I'm just gonna try and be safe here. I don't want to miss a Mega Horn and then lose. So I'm just going for a safe Poison Jab, 100% accuracy. I do get poison off from him. But here, at this point, it doesn't really matter. He can knock me out here and lose to Toxic, or yeah, I could survive here and go for a Thunder and knock him out, which I do here. And I have Condor in the back with Auger Jet, Choice Band, I think, or Choice Guard, and I could definitely knock out his Rotom. But basically this ends the game. GG to you, Q Willie. GGG. Too easy, man. But yeah, that was pretty exciting. I love using this new team. I kind of gave me some confidence. But we're gonna move on to my second opponent. My second opponent, unfortunately, is the same dude from last video. He goes by the name of Finchsy, and this dude, since I faced him before, and since he knows who I am, I'm very familiar with who he is as well now. I'm pretty sure he's familiar with my original team, so he brought out his Chansey, his Slowbone, his Tangrowth, and right away I knew I made a huge mistake bringing my original team. I just felt like I wasn't that confident with my last team. Like, obviously it's the first round, and I won that match maybe by luck or maybe by just having the right Pokemon at the right time. My original team has never really failed me. It has always done really well against all my opponents. So I felt like because I'm facing this guy again, I know how tough of an opponent he is. I decided to go with my original team, and that's kind of like the safe thing. And you don't ever want to be safe in life. So here, that was my mistake, because if I had used my original team, I had Heracross on that team, and Heracross, just looking at my opponent's team, you can see he had Tangrowth, which is very scared of Megahorn. He has Chansey, which is scared of close combat. He has his Slowbone, which is scared of Megahorn. He has Tyranitar, which is scared of close combat. The only two mons that could be troubling would be his Aerodactyl and his Ironhead Excadrill, if he's like Sword Dance Ironhead with Life Wood. That would be the only fear I have with Heracross, using Heracross. But the thing is, that's so worth it, because all four of his mons are scared of Heracross, which means that I can always bring him in and kind of pressure him into switching. So yeah, that was my mistake. It would definitely be faster than this game. Not that this game is pretty slow, but you'll see. Anyways, let's just play through it. His team is very stally with sand, whereas my team is the original. So let's just get started. So he's gonna lead off with Tangrowth. I'm gonna lead off with Slowbro. Hey, I think it looks like fun. He has some fans. I don't have any fans. Where's my fan at? But he Sleep Powder, which I didn't expect, and trying to go for Stealth Rock, but he goes for Fire Punch here. That does 51%. That's definitely banding damage. I don't even have to do any calculation. I'm gonna switch out into Mana Buzz, knowing he's gonna go for another Fire Punch. He crits me 47%. I know I can live it. I'm gonna go for Roost here as he switches out into his Tangrowth. And yeah, at this point, I'm gonna go for Toxic here. And Toxic is really crucial because you know, since he's a stalling guy, Toxic could wear him out. He goes to knock off from the Rocking Helmet. He's switching to Chansey. Not that it really matters, because I'm pretty sure Chansey carries Heal Bell or Roman Therapy. Here he goes for Seismic. I'm like, please just wake up, let me throw some rocks. And I do thankfully wake up for like second turn, and I'm able to throw rocks before I die. I'm gonna switch out here. I don't want to die to no Seismic. I'm gonna stay saving my stuff for it. I go into Mamoswine. Huge advantage for me because you know, I love it when Mamoswines face off with Chansey. It's just beautiful. So he's switching to Tangrowth here. I was trying to go knock off his Evaluate, but Tangrowth, I knock off his Rocking Helmet, which doesn't do anything. But here I'm gonna switch out in Mana Buzz as he switches out into Tyranitar. I don't know what he was predicting here, but good for him. As I'm gonna switch out, expect him to go for Stone Edge, Bandit, damage obviously. I'm gonna go with Mamoswine as I know Iron Fast. I'm gonna go for that big EQ. Does a lot to his Slowbro. Here I'm gonna switch out, I believe, because I think that he's gonna switch into Tangrowth, but he actually protects his see if I'm locked. At this point he should know I'm locked, but I'm gonna go for a Draco Medium just to hit anything, and he goes for a Chansey, and he goes for Softball, so I'm pushing him again, like I said, with Mamoswine, because now I'm going to go for Icicle Crash. I'm hoping stuff for flinches, but he Softball just to gauge what I'm gonna do. He goes into Slowball now, knowing that I'm locking to Icicle Crash, so I go into my Slowball. We exchange his Skull. I get the burn on him, fortunately. Here he Psych Off, which is really annoying, as I just go for Sidekick just to get some special deep draw. I don't get anything. Here I decided I don't want to play that Skull versus Skull thing, so I'm gonna switch on to Hydreigon. I didn't expect him to go for Thunderwave. I actually expected him to go for not Softball, Psych Off. But here I go Mamoswine as he goes into his Tyranitar and switches out into Slowbone, which is good switching. I go for another Icicle Crash, and thankfully I get a flinch here, and so this is really perfect because now he's down to 2%, and if I don't miss this, I can definitely win. But of course I miss here, and look, if I had hit that and Slowbone die, look what my Icicle Crash could do to the rest of mine. It'll definitely hit his Tyranitar and die because he's banded. His Aerodactyl will die, his Chansey will die, his tank will definitely die, and his Execute Drill would definitely not take that well. So that was very unfortunate here. As he's able to get off a flag off, and now I'm gonna have to restart. I'm hoping to get a flinch here. I don't, and he's able to slack off all that off, and I'm like, oh man, he slack off again. So he's back at full, and he has to regenerate. It's just the worst. He goes for Skull, crits, he's exchanging Skull, it's basically a stall. Who's gonna switch out here first? I'm gonna switch out into Hydreigon as he just keeps slacking off, and that's annoying. He protects here as I do get paralyzed, so you don't get to see what I'm about to do to this slow blow. But here he decides to switch out to go for Dark Pulse. He decides to toss. I expect him to double switch again for some reason, so I go for another Dark Pulse. Now I definitely know he's going to softball, so I'm going to Mammoth Swine and push him once again. Here I made a correct move and I went for as a good crash. It did 75%, did not even kill him, so that just like frustrating right there. He goes back to slow button knowing that, so now I'm just going to go for a safe Dark Pulse to his Tyranitar. Here I expect him to go for Pursuit on me, so I decide to stay in, but he goes for that big Stone Edge and knock me out. He goes into slow button as I just go for EQ, that's 56%, that's a lot of damage. Here I'm thinking he might go for Protect or Switch out. He decides to switch on the Aerodactyl, which is fine because my slow button has an advantage here. He's going to go in slow button. I should double switch right here back to my Mammoth Swine just to push him even more, but I didn't make that move, and that should have been a move that I should have made. Here I go for Taunt, expect him to not go for Toxic or Protect or whatever. He goes for Skull, does big damage, but here I go for SD, and I think he knows that I don't have Flip Blades, so he's a switch out here. He's able to just free go for that spin. Now he goes for Rock of his own, now pushing me even more. Here, I'm going to defog as he's switching to his Tyranitar. I'm going to boost that off because I know I can take a Stone Edge after that. But he goes for a Stone Edge and gets a big crit, and I'm almost dead. I go for VT, I know I can take it, but then he just hits me again, so not good. Going to Mammoth Swine, I'm just going to go for a safe EQ because I know his tank growth is low, right? Yeah, 40%, so let's go with the right move. He switches into tank growth now. Goes for Sleep Powder on my slow ball. I'm like, alright, I'm gonna switch into Talonflame. Here I'm going SD as he just goes to Aerodactyl. I'm like, crap. He's switching to slow ball as he just goes to Rock Fly. That does big damage. Here he goes into Tyranitar as I just try to wake up. I don't. Here I stay in because I'm thinking he's gonna go for Pursuit. He goes to Crunch, knock me out. And here I go Mammoth Swine, go for Earthquake. At this point, like, okay, so here's what. Here, like, even though I'm down 2 Pokemon, I could have honestly, like, not go for Earthquake. I could have just thought it through and just go for Icicle Crash. But Slowman's pretty down, yeah. Slowman's 45%, so, like, honestly, at that point, it was just a give up mentality, so I just, like, kind of gave up and went for EQ, which is safe. If I had went for Icicle Crash, I might still have had this game, even though I'm at such a big disadvantage. Because Icicle Crash, he would have knocked down Tangrowth, I think. He would have died here, I think. And then Icicle Crash everyone else, and then maybe X-Drill might survive. I think X-Drill still win here because of Sandstorm, and he might have Rock Slide to kill off my Talonflame. And then he goes Earthquake on and hit me, yeah. So there's no way I would have win. But looking back at this game, honestly, without the Haxes, this team could actually stand up pretty well. But going back to what I said earlier, Heracross definitely made it much easier. So GG, Galvancy, yeah, I think good luck, have fun, and no, I think good luck in the future game. Thank you, man. We both have mutual respect for each other. We both are good players. So yeah, it's very unfortunate, but let's just move on to day 2 of 6th Gen. And my next opponent would go by the name of Maroon, and I decided, hey, I don't want to be boring. I want to go back to the team that I started with in the beginning, which is Scorpion, all that, as my opponent has his threatening Pokemon, and let's just see how we do. So he goes into Rotom after going to Haxorus, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go for Earthquake, Volt Breaker, Super Effective, do big damage. As he just goes for Volt Switch, perfect, this couldn't get any better. Here he goes into Weave Out. I don't expect him to go for Ice Shard. And I don't think I should would have killed unless he has like Choice Bandit or whatever. But I don't expect him to suspect me to be Choice Scarf, because Haxor is naturally faster than Wotan. Who knows? Wotan might be Scarf. So, anyways, he might probably expected that knockoff was probably the best option because he expected to switch out. But I do stay in and get the earthquake damage, and that does a lot. He knockoffs. I don't see anything like life orb or recovery, so I'm expecting him to be choice bandits. So I don't think that mattered. I don't know why I went into Hellquest here. This is a part of me not thinking. It's because the fact that he was locked into knockoff, or he locked into knockoff. I could have just went to Quandon. Quandon would have done better. Like there would be no clear switch in for Quandon because Quandon is basically choice bandit and would do so much to his other mons. Hellquest, obviously he could bring his Clefairy to negate whatever I have because no move is super effective to Clefairy. So I wasn't really thinking at this point. So I go for Cloud Combat, which is like nothing obviously. Should have went to Quandon. But here I switch out into Magneton. He just goes for Flamethrower and yeah, he catches me. Do super effective damage. He goes into Garchomp. I go into Substitute knowing that he won't stay in. So he goes for EQ. I go for Flash Canyon, able to do some decent chunk on him. I go back to Hellquest, expecting to go for Rocks. He goes to Earthquake. I'm able to just get off a Mega Horn here. Unfortunately, with all the chips, Rocket Helmet, and Rock Skin, I'm like so down. Here he's really able to go for Rocks. I go for Mega Horn on an incoming Clefairy. Clefairy threat. I go for Stone Edge, trying to do as much damage because no one can really take a Moonblast, especially since my Magneton is really low now. Here I don't know why I went back to Magneton because honestly, again, I could have just went into Alakazam to calm mine here and put pressure. But even so, he does have Metagross. So probably the best Pokemon I should have brought in was my Scolipede because my Scolipede could definitely pressure him to switch out. But Magneton here, he decides to switch out anyways. But I go for Flash Canyon into Latios. That's absolutely nothing. Goes for Surf, knocks me out. Goes to Scolipede. I know my Scolipede invested in the EV spread into speed, so I know that I can either take a Choice Scarf Surf or I could just freely go for Mega Horn and he just sacks him. So he does that, able to knock him out and get that speed boost. Here I go for Poison Jab and I barely take him out, which is very unfortunate, as he's able to go for a Flamethrower, knocks me out, and yeah, just looking really bad at this point. Going Alakazam here, I just go Carmine as he just goes for Moonblast. Moonblast does not do anything. He switches out Metagross, and here would be a perfect time to actually carry a Shadow Ball, to be honest. But I don't have anything for that, so I just go for Side Shock, go switch out into Quandon, expecting him to go for Meteor Mash or something like that. But he actually predicts me, goes for a big Thunder Punch and knocks me out. And at this point I said GG. So you won, you definitely won here. And yeah, too easy for you, man. Go for T-Punch, crit, doesn't really matter. But yeah, the next day I used the same team. I don't regret using this team because this team is definitely more exciting. At least I have the content for it, even though I don't advance. But I would love to have advance. But it is what it is. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys stay to the end, you already know what to do. Hit the like button and subscribe and comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you want to see in the next video, or recommendations for the next video of Pokemon of the Day for Friday. Until next time, I will see you guys Friday. Peace!